Miss Los Angeles International and former Miss Black California.
I'm the free spirit of the group. I love both men and women equally.
Model. And I am your all-American girl. I got my degree in psychology.
Doing the show, it reminds me every week to not lose my voice.
So, let's talk about this cyber dating, I like to call it, you know. We have all these websites, you know, dateanarabianman.com, dateamillionaire.com, match.com, blackplanet.com, MySpace, Yahoo Personals, Craigslist, MSN couples. Like, man, I could go on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
So, do you guys have any experience in that?
It's kind of risky.
I mean, risky to what extent? There's so many levels of risk. Because another thing I noticed on internet dating was it's like some sort of cyber sex world. Like, all people want to do is be like, what kind of panties do you
Well,
want?
and
Like,
what's interesting
are
about the
you serious?
internet is people are so much more likely to let that out because they know that you want, like, they would never meet you on a first date and be like, so, like, they would never talk to you that way. Like, in, you know,
keep dating in LA.
But you
somewhere a woman out there is laughing right now in her car, like, you know what?
It's
She's
easier
right.
to say things online over an email, put things out there that you wouldn't normally. So.
Well, and not only that, like, it's like what, like 70 or 80% of communication is nonverbal, right? It's like gestures and the tone of your voice and all that stuff. All that stuff is gone on the internet. Like, it's just, you know, and how many times have you read an email or text message and you're like,
what did they mean by that?
What do they mean by that? And they're
I don't
like, they meant it all cute and funny, but like, because you didn't hear the way they said it, or it didn't come across right, you know? And so I think that a lot of that is lost in internet dating. So it's like you get to know them and you reveal so much information because you're uninhibited. So you're like, oh, this is what happened to me when I was 5, and this is how my dad is, and
Now
you feel very close, but then it's like you don't really know anything about that person.
Feel like
so I think like what the bottom line is if you do not have self-love nor self-respect, you're going to end up it doesn't matter where you meet him. You can meet him at church, you can meet him at the library, you can meet him at the day club. I don't care, the day spot, whatever. If you don't have self-love and if you're not willing to say, oh, that dude didn't call me at 12 o'clock, forget him. You don't need to be really trying to look for something serious.
Yeah, you need to have your standards, but also don't be so cynical about love and be open to it if it's what you want. Be open to the fact that there may be a nice guy out there waiting for you. You just have to go to the right place.
Right.
Maybe click on the right profile online. Right. Because you shouldn't give internet dating such a bad rap. I mean, it works for some people, and I've encouraged my friends who are single to do it, but they all think it has such a bad rap, and oh, I'm a loser if I have an online dating profile, but it's so common these days, and it works for some people.
Miss Liz?
You know, in all the years that I've dated, I feel that you have to, like you were saying, know yourself and not take shit from people. That's what I really think, because I think that I'm the type of person, you know, in the past where I was that girl. It's like, why didn't he call me? Or why, you know, you get so down on yourself because you feel like, well, why didn't he like me, or whatever it is. And it's just insecurities, right? On your own part.
Right.
And I think another thing is not to look at relationships as failures, even ones where you're really in love. I had a relationship for 2 years and I loved that man and I thought we were going to get married, and I was definitely guarded, and I've definitely had people tell me in the, you know, even in the very recent past, I've had people tell me that I'm guarded and that I haven't let it down, and I thought, no, I'm not, but I am, because when something hurts you like that, it's just natural to put up this wall.
Yeah, exactly.
But when I look back at it, it was a great part of my life for that time, and I don't think that all relationships are meant to be forever. Right. And I think that's where we go wrong. We think if we didn't make it work, it was a failure and there's something wrong with us. And I don't think that there's something wrong with you. Right. I think that it's just that was meant for that 2 years of my life. Exactly. It made me grow as a person. It made me grow because I think that you grow the most from your most painful experiences.
I agree.
Right? And so
agree.
I'm going to be a hell of a wife to somebody someday, whenever it is that I'm ready, and mainly because of those experiences, because I learned all of these mistakes that I made, and I learned more of what I'm looking for. You know what I mean? Yeah. So my advice would be just like you were saying, don't take it so seriously, and don't, if it doesn't work out, don't think that you're less of a person.
Well, that's our show for today. Thank you so much for joining us. We've had fun. We hope you have. You can check us out weekly on our site at www.femalesuncut.com. We update it every week with a new show.
You can also find us on MySpace at myspace.com/femalesuncutonline.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.